Heated rhetoric coming from both the Trump administration and North Korea. International pressure is building to find a peaceful resolution. Wendy Gillette is at the White House with more details.
Christine, President Trump did not mince words today when asked about North Korea. He was very clear. If North Korea follows through with its announced plan to fire missiles toward Guam, there will be dire consequences.
President Trump says North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un will not bully the U.S.
This man will not get away with what he's doing, believe me.
The president defended his tweet from Friday morning, saying the U.S. military is locked and loaded if North Korea acts unwisely.
I hope that they are going to fully understand the gravity of what I said, and what I said is what I mean.
North Korea is promising a nuclear war if the U.S. strikes first. That kind of rhetoric prompted Russia's foreign minister to say he believes the risk of a military conflict on the Korean peninsula is very high. Moscow wants the U.S. to stop its annual military exercises with South Korea if the North will halt its missile program.
The military drills are set to begin August 21st. That's about the same time North Korea says it will be ready to launch missiles toward the U.S. territory of Guam.
North Korea's military is threatening to launch 4 ballistic missiles targeting the water around Guam. The plan is awaiting Kim Jong Un's approval.
If he does anything with respect to Guam or any place else that's an American territory or an American ally, he will truly regret it. And he will regret it fast.
Guam's Department of Homeland Security released this tip sheet in the event of an attack, advising citizens to build an emergency kit, have a family plan, and don't look at the fireball or flash when the missile hits, because it can blind you.
And a couple other items on that fact sheet. It advises residents to locate concrete shelters near their homes, workplaces, and schools. And if there is an attack, it advises everyone to stay inside for at least 24 hours and remove any clothing so that radioactive material does not spread. At the White House, Wendy Gillette, KDKA-TV News.